excitement to start the vlog for you.
This is not the vlog at the start that I had planned at all. On the old blower to my friend back home, all of a sudden this, what sounds like a war siren goes on. Then I get a pop-up on my phone that says extreme thunderstorm warning, threat to life. Then I get a tornado warning. No warnings up until now, and as you can see, it's going wild.
We're parked up outside Base Pro and the weather's been beautiful, and then literally flick of a switch, it's gone.
Yeah.
And normally, if this was UK, I'll be thinking, don't worry about it. But
we've learnt that Canada means what they say,
yeah,
and I'm guessing the US
they don't
too.
mess about.
I've been reading what we're supposed to do, and I think the safest thing is to stay here.
Excitement! Now, come on, Americans, what does it mean when they sound two of them? Is that a good thing
I don't think so.
or a bad thing? I think they're just saying it's smoko break, that's all.
Oh my god. I feel like we might have a bit of a Wizard of Oz situation going on. We're going to like pick it up and fly off.
Jess loves the drama. I love the excitement, but Jess loves the drama.
I don't love the drama at all.
Well, she turns it into the drama then. Oh, look at that lightning.
Holy dooly.
I love a bit of lightning and thunder. The only thing I don't like about them is normally dogs don't like it, do they?
No. Maybe I'm a dog. Maybe that's why I don't like it so much.
I'm saying nothing. If we get flooded, we haven't got to worry, because Base Pro, I've got plenty of boats in there.
Yeah, it's
I'll show you
true.
them
We'll
tomorrow.
hopefully show them tomorrow and they haven't blown away. Shall I look on the weather app and see where the eye of the storm is?
Whoa! When we lived in Oz, I never experienced a cyclone, but I didn't get to go to work once. It was Christmas Eve, wasn't it?
Oh, it was brilliant because your
Yeah.
parents were over and John was going to have to fly up to the mine site while his mum and dad were still here, and then I'd have to drop them off a couple of days later. Oh, just got another warning.
We got a cyclone warning, so we weren't allowed to fly up. It was the right result, that, and it never happened anyway, so. The good thing is, we're pretty tough, aren't we? We're from a windy part of England.
Yeah.
These tornadoes, we get them every day, don't we?
I don't think they're quite the same. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. Also, it's really humid. I don't know if I'm just like sweating because I'm nervous, but
No, it was early,
it is
wasn't it?
really humid.
Should
Like,
we get
I
the
might have to put some shorts on.
Should we get the old time lapse on the GoPro?
Whoa.
You know what we should do?
Uh-oh.
We should go to Bass Pro, because they've got like a little pond out there, and we should do like a king in it scenario. You know, when the fish comes over, slaps you in the face, we'll go viral.
I'm here at Barry Island Beach and there's no sign to stop.
I just started to relax because I was watching the radar with the eye of the storm on it, and it looks like we're sort of like right now in the middle of it. It's not too bad. I was like, brilliant. And then it goes through, looks like it's clearing off, looks like it's clearing off, and then all of a sudden this big bit just like shoots up from the bottom and puts us in the darkest red scary zone a bit later tonight.
We're in the eye of the tiger. Whoa! I don't know if this will get anything, but raining, Jess. It's raining. See what that gets.
There's only one thing to do in a situation like this. Bust it out the popcorn.
Well, the old tornado fizzled out last night.
The second front that was supposed to come through had worn itself out by the time it got here, thankfully. So, not that you'd think that by the way that I look this morning.
But we did have an interesting night. About, I don't even know what time it was. We're miles away from the train, but the train horns here are unbelievable. And whether there was something on the track or what, I don't know. But the old train driver was just like, oh!
I stopped counting at 40 beeps, and I know what time it was. It was 4:30 in the morning, and that was after, at 3:30, the fire alarm went off.
I think the battery's dead or something.
Oh,
Needless to say, she hasn't got much sleep.
I need a cup of tea. You guys know me, and you know I do not like to rely on luck, but fortunately we did get really lucky last night because the tornado hit quite hard about an hour south of here, and really sadly some people did lose their homes and their lives. And I know we did have a bit of a joke and a laugh last night, but we do know that the weather out here is no joking matter. We did do our research and we found that the safest thing we could possibly do was stay here. It wasn't an ideal situation, but luckily we were okay. The only good thing about us having stayed here though is this morning we can show you around a Bass Pro shop.
We did have a little peek in one of these stores in Canada, but I've been told that the ones in America are that much more extreme, and by the looks of it, they weren't wrong.
There's even a bridge you go over with a pond.
Golden fingers caress my face.
Look at this place.
On a silky breeze.
Oh yeah, just an open fireplace in a shop, that's totally normal. And a taxidermy zoo. Where are you going to start, boy?
I think we'll start with the boat, shall we? Now we're in luck because a lot of them are on clearance today.
Should we get 3?
So this one's $52,000. This one here, ooh, it's a bit better, this one, $85,000. But these are more your speed boats and your wakeboarding boats. What me and Jess like the most is this style. This is more your lake boat, I'd say.
Your lake boat, your luxury boat. Look, we go up our stairs. Look at these sofas, look. You can make a beauty camper out of one of these. Just beautiful. And then you've got your like swimming deck off the back with your stairs that drop down into the water. I think this is a bit of you and me, John. I think we might need to buy a lake house on one of these.
This is one that is actually called a party barge.
A party barge.
A bargain at $35,000. To be honest,
That is a bargain.
I was going to say,
surprised.
I was very surprised about the price of these. I thought there'd be a lot more anyway.
I think this is probably more realistically in our budget though. $250 for a massive floating mat dock for the middle of the lake.
Now we've got the boat for our lake house. Obviously we need a side-by-side to go with it.
Obviously.
With a snowplow on the front, with a winch on the front. $24,000 for this one, so.
But look how plush they are inside, look. They're all like carpeted, leather seats, even got cup holders, John. If fishing's your thing, this place is your dream come true. There is literally a sea of tackle. I'm not much of a fisherman, but I do love this. The aquarium in this store, which is so big that it's currently being cleaned by a diver. Look at the size of the fish. He's enormous. Oh, there's a huge one down the bottom. Of course, no store is complete without an entire log cabin. I just love this style of building. I'd love to make something like it one day. But you even walk through up into the middle and you can see the living space. So it's got a kitchen, potbelly stove, a little bed, even paintings on the wall. Now I know that this is completely normal in America, but I will never quite get over the fact that you can walk into a shop here and there's a massive selection of guns, rifles, handguns, the lot.
We could go on and on about this store because there's so much to see and look at, but my personal favourite is the hunting chairs that are strapped to the trees. Now, I wouldn't use them for hunting, but what they would be brilliant for is me and Jess to do all the wildlife spotting.
Oh yeah, genius. Take a little snack pack up there, a little thermos. And to go with our wildlife spotting tree chairs, I think we would definitely have to get ourselves one of these motion detected wildlife cameras, because I am convinced that some really cool wildlife has gone past us in the night while we've been asleep. Well, that's definitely not like any of the outdoor shops we have in the UK or anywhere else I've been in the world for that matter.
And when you're on your way out, you can always get yourself this steel
hunting buffy. Or even one up on stilts, look. I've said before how much we rely on internet when we're traveling for navigation and things like that. But last night was a perfect example of why we need the internet when we're traveling for safety too. Because all of the notifications that I got and all of the things that I researched to make sure that we stayed safe all relied on us having the internet. I used to do this by buying a local SIM, taking the SIM out of my phone and putting that one in. But the problem with that was then my number didn't work. So I then started taking an old phone with me and put the local SIM in that and then hotspot the internet to my phone. But that means carrying around 2 phones with you, charging 2 phones, and it used to disconnect all the time. So whilst both methods worked, they were a right pain, and that's before you have to go through the hassle of buying a local SIM, avoiding dodgy sellers, and then trying to figure out how to top it up in a different country. We now use Saily eSIMs, who are the sponsor of this week's video and make life so much easier. All you have to do to get a Saily eSIM is download their app and then choose the plan that works for you, and then install it on your phone following their easy step-by-step instructions. It will then activate when you get to the country you've purchased it for, and away you go. You can use the internet just like normal. They offer eSIMs for over 200 different countries, but they also offer regional and global ones too, which has been a godsend out here with us crossing between Canada and the US so much. And when you go to Europe, it's really easy to go through 3 countries in a day. Now, you can get your Saily eSIM by just downloading the app or going to saily.com/trueblue. And if you use the code TrueBlue at the checkout, you'll get a 15% discount. I'll put a link in the description for you. And if you're worried about it not working with your phone, don't. They offer a full refund if it doesn't.
What I do love about shops like that out here is you can actually go in and look at stuff, whereas in England now, because it's all like online, we can't really do that, eh?
No, I miss that about Australia as well. Like, they actually have stuff in the shops, so when you're trying to choose, you can go and like feel them and compare and stuff. Although I will say in Australia, getting anything through the post is a glacial pace.
You can go and feel them.
Don't you think that matters when you're like choosing textiles for your house?
Oh, I think feeling stuff matters all the time, Jess.
Says you that likes to play with the backpack blowers all the time.
I was wondering where you were going with that then.
On our way out of town, I've brought us to come down Grandview Drive, which Theodore Roosevelt said is the most beautiful drive in the world. Now, I think we've probably seen more amazing scenes, but oh my goodness, these mansion houses are something else.
Just filling up with the old water, and I can't believe it, but the last few days being here, it's been a nightmare getting hold of it. I don't know why it's so bad here.
Illinois has been the hardest place in everywhere we've been to get water, even in like frozen places.
But the best thing is we're filling up from a garage now, which says non-potable, but we haven't got to worry about that because we've got the water filtration system.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It was from direct water filters. So we've got the UV system, and then we've got a UDPAC filter that gets all the big particles out, makes it taste a bit better.
Yeah, so we can pretty much drink from any water source, which has been a game changer. One thing I'm going to miss from here is the water pressure. Brilliant compared to home. Jess has been a bit slack because on the way back to the port, she's not planned for us to do anything, is she? So I was giving her jip for it this morning. She had a little paddy and she said, well, you sort out what we're doing. So we're currently just coming into Chicago and it's tours with John today.
What actually happened is I had it planned and he went, no, I don't really fancy doing that today. So I said to him, no worries, you sort it out. So apologies for the madness that is about to ensue.
So you know what I googled? Roughest place to go in Chicago. That's where we're going now.
My door's locked.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is.
And for the record, if I had known that this was your harebrained plan, I would have had a row with you this morning.
I grew up for a lot of my childhood in London, in Woolwich and Abbey Wood, and if anybody knows that neck of the woods, it's not the nicest of places in the world, so you sort of get to see a few things. But Jess grew up, like I've said before, going to church and in one of the most country bumpkin town you can ever go to.
So is this going to be an education for me, is it?
It surely is. At least they got fashion here anyway.
Well, it's your kind of fashion, John, so...
Gutted. Far too civilised for my liking. I think we came at the wrong time of the day. I think if we come back at night, it might be a bit of a different story.
I think a sunshiny blue sky day isn't so ominous, is it?
Yeah. But we did see quite a few sketchy people about, I have to say. But the worst thing is, so many people I saw just throwing rubbish, like when they're walking along, out their car windows. And I always think that's one thing that makes a place look horrendous. I'd like to fix loads of things in the world, but that is my biggest pet
Littering
hate.
is one of our pet peeves, isn't it? But seeing as we're in Chicago, I think it's only right we should go and see what normal people come here to see.
Feels a bit like London driving around here with all the one-way roads, but it's not quite the Thames, that.
Look at the colour of it, it's beautiful. Like the Caribbean or something, but just with skyscrapers.
We couldn't come all the way to Chicago now and not have some Chicago pizza. Now, I didn't even know this was a thing. What is Chicago pizza?
Deep pan, baby.
And why is it Chicago pizza?
Oh, what's it done? Long story short, the machine will not accept our card and the parking app says that we are invalid and our numbers don't exist. So, plan B, I have written a nice letter to the parking officer, which I'm going to put in the windscreen and hope for the best because I want some pizza. Well, let's hope the old Gordiano's is worth the kerfuffle and we don't come back to a clamped tyre.
The most expensive dinner we've had out here, if it is.
Could we please get the Chicago Classic 12-inch, please?
Sure. Deep dish?
Yes, please.
I mean, if you don't mind, I mean, who knows? Maybe she just quit. I don't know. Because
You haven't got to worry about it being fresh because it takes 45 minutes to cook, but it looks more like a pie than a pizza.
Doesn't look like any pizza I've ever seen. It's like upside down. Look at all that cheese.
Let me show you. Look, see if you can see when I get it from that way.
He served me a piece.
Look at that.
Right, let's get a bit of this in my belly. Oh,
What is it?
beautiful.
No, what is it? We haven't had one for a while. It is.
It's really good.
We were defeated.
We were absolutely obliterated, considering the size that the pizza was.
Anyways, we got to tell them the goss. So, the old Bill were in there looking for an ex-employee. She's wanted in connection with a criminal activity. I was buzzing. I was waiting for the guns to come out though, they never come out.
I can't get past that. They walk around with just the guns on their hips here.
Oh, says you.
Oh yeah.
Jess was flapping though when the old undercover cops come because she thought they were coming to fine us for parking here.
But the good news is my little year 2 notebook, please Mr. Parking Officer, don't give us a fine, did work and we still have all 4 wheels. But the reason I brought us to this neighbourhood is not just for some delicious pizza pie, but because there is a very, very famous stadium here. So if we can get parked tonight, we're on to a game. Attempt 1, epic fail, $60.
To park.
Yeah, to park. Not for the tickets, just to park for the night.
For this vehicle, I have to charge you now.
It's getting worse. That one was $120.
Yeah, mate. How much is it to park? $100. $100?
The $60 looking a bargain. As much as it pained me, we did swallow the $60 for the parking because it was the cheapest we could find. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're at Wrigley Field. We're going to a Chicago Cubs game. You know us, we need to get dressed for the occasion. But with all the gear they've got here, I've narrowed it down a little bit. And the question is, do I go for the proper baseball jersey, get it customized? I reckon the General, #1 on the back. Next up is the baseball bomber jacket. She's a Cubs one. And Chicago on the back. Or the old faithful baseball cap. But the problem is, which one do you choose? Good, thank you very much. Thank you, have a nice day. Your beauty. Truth is, I would have liked to have got all 3, but it's the bomber jacket for the win.
Well, the game's about to start, but there's one thing we haven't done.
What's that?
We don't know the rules. All I know is they hit it. If it goes out the park, it's a home run.
Yeah, you got to try and get to the baits before they get
Touch ya.
good pictures.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Apart from that, we're out.
It'll be fun. next game, we have the LA Dodgers playing the Chicago Cubs. And so far, it is literally everything you imagine it to be from the movies. So far, we've had strikeouts, we've had home runs, and boy oh boy, there is a lot of love from the home crowd.
What a game.
What a game. That was a blast.
But I was Googling like through the whole game when they had the breaks and that, and they were saying that a lot of the players are on about 20 million a year, which is unbelievable.
What blew my mind is I was looking at the velocity of the balls that the pitchers were throwing, and Keller, one of the pitchers, throws an average of about 94.5 miles per hour, but the fastest ball ever pitched was 105.8 miles per hour. That is insane. Imagine that flying at your face.
But the most mind-boggling thing of the night was the price of water. No wonder they're on 20 million a year, because a bottle of water was $8.
Plus tax.
Safe to say, we went thirsty for
We
the
did.
night.
However, I will say that the place smelt amazing. It smells like a combination of hot dog mustard, beer, fries, caramel popcorn, and something like Team Spirit. I don't know, it's amazing.
Go Cubs, go!
Go Cubs, go!
Calm before the storm, I think.
Come before the storm.
Mind you, we've already had a storm, haven't we?
We have already had a storm this time.
But we need to say thank you to a load of you lot again, because what we did yesterday was on the old Super Thanks, and
Yes.
one of the names that's coming up is my personal favourite.
John has been waiting for me to read this out for weeks.
And if you're watching, you know it's coming as well.
So without further ado,
No, we've got to tell them what's going on. So, you know, we save all the Super Thanks money, the buy me a coffees and all that.
and PayPal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Yes,
It's
and we
much
put it towards
appreciated.
something special. We've done that.
So
since the
you
beginning.
paid for the baseball, the jacket and everything last
and dinner.
night.
Nah, very delicious.
You didn't pay for an $8
Water bottle, no.
Although I forgot to tell you as well, the beer was $16.
Plus tax.
I don't want to moan about money too much, but like, whew, that mind boggles me how people can pay that. But anyway,
Anyway, so thank you ever so much, because that was just the most amazing American experience. So thank you very much to David, Anne, Geraldine, Eloisa, Graham, Tim and Nikki,
here it comes.
Little Smelly Willy,
And I must note, they actually changed or set up
an account
YouTube
with that
account
as their name.
just
no,
so
it
we
wasn't.
could
It was
read
Buy Me
that
a
out.
Coffee, actually.
So
But
thanks very much, little Smelly Willy.
Michael and Sinead, Camille, Stu Bear and Wheezy, Ray, Mark Ria, Flipper, Sierra and Claudia, Mr. Tay, Paolo, Lee, Tina, Big Davy Duncan, Gary, Karen, Matt, Brent, Bradley, Davy, Sand, Mandy, Ian, Lovely, Pete, Sharon, Sean, Bob, Lee, Nathalie and Renee, or Renee, Danny, Tarquin, Teresa, I'm not sure how I pronounce that, sorry, Cody, John, Michael and Sinead, Simon, Steve, Rusty, Simon and Tracy, Nob67, Chris, Ron, Andrew and Linda, Jono and Marina, Phil, Andy, Drew and Linz, Therese, Jeff, Stuart, and Caveman Carnivore Club. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. And if anybody ever does that again, then I'd like some of the best names you can come up with for us to thank as well.
Anyways, so thanks so much, guys. But we now need to get to the port because the ship is booked.
Am I like the name?
Do you want me to say on camera? We weren't looking forward to this leg of the journey. 800 miles with no time to stop and smell the flowers, and jam-packed with chores to get the van ready to ship. finding public libraries to print documents, washing away thousands of miles of dirt, grit and salt, and packing the essentials we couldn't risk leaving in the van. But we did have time to stop for one last hurrah.
Well, that's it parked up at the port. Loads of German campers about, but let's hope it all goes smoothly and everything's all right when we pick it back up at Liverpool. Bit premature, because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and the flight's not till 9 o'clock at night, but we had to do this because we weren't allowed to book the flights until we dropped it off at the port.
Yeah,
so.
well, we could have, but it's too much risk with it.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at booking our flights though. We thought we might treat ourselves today.
We go first class. Not really.
No, because economy flights are £352 and first class is $12,795.
We thought about business, but that was 8,000, so.
Economy for us. But I can't believe the trip's finally coming to an end.
It doesn't feel like 2 minutes ago that we were actually booking the flights to come here, but also it feels like forever ago as well.
Such a strange sensation,
Yeah. But the weather's meant to be good when we get back to England, so it's all good. It's going to be 25 degrees.
I'll believe that when I see it. We're leaving glorious sunshine here.
It did say it was going to be 2 degrees overnight, but we'll just gloss over that for a bit anyway.
But I have to say, this trip has been absolutely incredible. So much more than we ever could have imagined. So thanks ever so much for coming on the journey with us. And don't forget about that Sailor link in the description.